in their own words.
Get rid of the Constitution for Sharia, yes or no?
Over the Muslim world? Yes, it would be gone.
And so if the United States was a Muslim world, the Constitution would be gone.
If the United States was in the Muslim world, the Muslims who are here would be calling and happy to see the Sharia applied. Yes, we would.
The Constitution gone, that's all.
Yes, as Muslims, they would be long gone.
Remember, the conference happened in Chicago, but it has happened globally. It happened at the Sydney, Australia Caliphate Conference as well. This was held this summer on July 3rd, all over the planet. At this conference, there was more finger-pointing at America and bold predictions of the coming Caliphate. This is Australia this summer.
Victory to Islam, such that Islam takes the rightful position of leadership of humanity and guides humanity out of darkness and into light, into the light of Islam. But today we have America, the West, entire superpower states standing in the way of establishing the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they have mobilized all their resources and they have unleashed all their forces to curb the rise of Islam. And therefore the Muslims today also need a state, an Islamic state, the Khilafah, so that we can mobilize all our resources and all of our forces. So the establishment of the Khilafah is not a pipe dream. It is a reality, it is possible, and it's not only possible, it is imminent. It is a reality that is about to come true soon, inshallah ta'ala.
The one remaining question so far left unanswered is this: does it have popular support among Muslims? Yeah. This is an impressive group with strong global presence. I don't know. We'll have to go back to Eric and another one of our guests in a few minutes and ask them, how about here in America? But in the Middle East, there are a few billion Muslims. Are there enough to move this forward? It's a good question, and we should take a look at the actual facts here. This thing, it's the most expensive thing that never works. Can we get this to work here? There it is. There it is. If you look at these facts, the percentage that say it's the U.S. goal to weaken Islam, 87% in Egypt say yes, 74% in Pakistan. The percent that says the U.S. has a goal to expand Israel's border, 90% in Palestinian territories, 86% in Egypt, 84% in Jordan. The percentage with an unfavorable view of the U.S. government, 89% in Egypt, 85% in Iran, 64% in Indonesia. The percentage that says the U.S. tries to humble the Islamic world, 64% in Iran, 56% in Egypt, 52% in Pakistan. The percent that wants to keep Western values out of the Islamic world, 88% in Egypt, 76% in Indonesia, 60% in Pakistan, and one more. 73% in Egypt think Sharia law should play a much bigger role in the way the country is governed. This is extremely important. The hatred, not the let's coexist and hey, we'd like you to move on. This is not a Gandhi movement. The hatred. And we saw it when Christine Anandpour was interviewing the Egyptian protesters. And the guy said back to her, if you remember, I hate you. I hate America. Watch.
You want us to go?
Yes, I want you to go from here.
Why?
Because we are hate you. We hate American.
You hate us?
Yes, I hate you, and I hate you.
Why do you hate us?
You are not good person. Go to any place more, please. Go to any place more. You are not with us.
Okay.
You are not with us.
Okay.
Okay, remember this happened to Anderson Cooper as well. It happened to the staff at Fox. They were in danger. This isn't some loon off the street. They really do actually hate us. And don't be mistaken, they don't hate us for our wealth. They don't hate us for our lifestyle. These are religious extremists far beyond what we have ever known in our lifetime. To survive, we cannot think like Westerners. We have to think like those in the Middle East. We cannot listen to people telling us to ignore it. These are the same ones that are excusing the extremism. Oh, well, they don't mean that. Oh, they're just like us. Why do you hate them so much? I don't. I can coexist with anyone that doesn't wish to kill me. Yet, the people who tell us that they're exactly like us also at the same time complain that we are trying to impose our values on them. If they're the same as us, then we wouldn't have to impose our values. We would all look at people the same way. The left tries, as it always does, to have it both ways. Enough is enough. We have the Westboro Baptist Church in America. I agree, the Westboro Baptist Church is a church of hate. Clearly a church of hate. But this church has 73 members total, and many of them, I think, are all one family. Now, there is a strong mobilization in America against their vile hatred, and rightfully so. Have you noticed how many times you've seen the Westboro Baptist Church on television? May I ask, how many times and how much pushback have you seen on the Caliphate conference? How many times have you seen them on television? How many times have you heard these people's words on television? A conference that happens in over 40 countries around the globe? Hatred is brewing. And the radicals, the Islamists, the communists, and the socialists are in on it together. On Wall Street, in Westboro, and in our own cities, there are people who wish to kill us. I know I bring you a lot of news that you really don't want to hear. I know that. I said to my staff earlier today, if you think it's bad listening to me, you should think like me. There's many things that I think that I have not said. I unfortunately have this strange ability, well, no, I was going to say to think like them, but I don't. I just believe them. When people say, I'm going to kill you, I believe them. Too many dismiss. You, just being here tonight at GBTV, proves to me how many Americans have taken an oath of truth and courage. If you are here, your courage comes from not wondering if I'm right. Your courage comes from the time that we have spent together and the record that we have. And you watch this show tonight to prepare and face the problem and then pray that I'm wrong. I want you to know I join you in that prayer, but I do not believe that I am. I didn't have the track record in 1999 when I said that about Osama bin Laden. Nobody would listen to me then. Thank God. Thank God you are here. The press all but ignored Lara Logan from CBS. I want to play her words again because she was there in Tahrir Square when the world was praising this glorious revolution and calling it a peaceful demonstration. She was there. She knows the truth and she knows the hatred.
They were trying to tear off chunks of my scalp. They had my head in different directions.
Pulling at your hair.
Oh yeah, and not trying to pull out my hair, holding big wads of it, literally trying to tear my scalp off my skull. And I thought, when I thought I'm going to die here, and my next thought was, I can't believe I just let them kill me.
They were trying to kill her while they were chanting, Jew, Jew, Jew. They believe we're trying to humiliate the Muslim world and fight against Islam. No, we are not, unless your definition of Islam is defined by extremists. There are Muslims here in America who are trying to fight this evil, and they are begging us to stop being politically correct. The man in St. Louis who sent this picture, he sent that picture of him with his back, the Star of David, carved into his back. He sent it to us so you would see it. We have a responsibility as people to stand with the Jew, to stand with the Christian, and to stand with this man, a Muslim. We stand with anyone who rejects hatred and violence. We have a responsibility to protect as individuals and to let them know that they are not alone. This man currently lives in St. Louis. He used to be an attorney in Iraq. He moved here for a better life. He's afraid for his life. He said that he's got to get out of St. Louis. They're going to kill him. But he doesn't know where to go. He barely speaks English now, and he doesn't have a job. People believe that capitalism, these people from Hizb ut-Tahrir, believe that capitalism requires an inhuman poison of nationalism. They blame America for all of the wars in the last 200+ years. The United States of America, in its approximately 240 years of life, has fought more than 235 wars up to the current Iraq and Afghanistan war. These wars killed millions and millions of human lives. Most of their death is because they were unfortunate in living during the periods of man-made rules. All of these wars were a direct result of implementing capitalist concept of nationalism. You remember that mandatory jihad? Guess who's going to be against it? The great Satan, the United States of America. That may not scare you now, because we know we can defeat any single nation militarily. But what about when the Islamic world is unified in a caliphate? What will we possibly be up against then? The unified Islamic world under Islamic Caliphate state has, quote, 72.12% of the world's oil reserve and produces almost 50% of the daily production of the entire world. We have the strategic oil reserves here in America. They hold 727 million barrels, the strategic oil reserves. We'll just use that if there's a problem. They are designed to fuel our military in case there's a stoppage of oil and flow from the Middle East. You know how long it would fuel just our military? 34 days. Only a suicidal people don't have a backup plan for serious disruption when that area of the world that holds 72% of the world's reserves is in revolution. That area of the world has more than 61% of the world's gas reserves, 22.6% of the uranium reserves, and has substantial iron ore reserves. More resources that we will lack because we will not prepare. Here's one more disturbing resource they hold. It has the second largest dollar reserve of around $1.65 trillion. It is the fourth largest economy in the world, with $7.74 trillion in GDP. Let me ask you this. If the Middle East decided to work together and to dump the dollar, do you think that it would not be done in one afternoon? The United Caliphate, the Islamic Khalifa, will control the major geopolitically important strategic locations of the world in sea, in land, and in air routes. It will enjoy the monopoly of these strategic assets and bring countries like China, Germany, and Japan under its direct influence. That's a quote from the conference. But did you notice that America was not in that equation anywhere? Where do you think we are? We are a disease, and we will have been eradicated. Quote, indeed, Islam is the only cure to the disease that we witness due to the implementation of criminal and bankrupt ideology of capitalism. If you replace the word Islam with just the word socialism, indeed, socialism is the only cure to the disease that we witness due to the implementation of criminal and bankrupt ideology of capitalism. That's a phrase that could have been spoken by one of the revolutionaries on Wall Street this afternoon here in New York. By the way, social justice is huge in the Islamic world. Wake up. What I told you in January, radicals, socialists, communists, and Muslim extremists are working together, is here. And it is time to stand in peace and shoulder to shoulder. Solutions and some history coming up.